Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Stalker of the Week, which is the Star. If you are new here and you do not know what Stalker of the Week is, it is a collective reading I do on an energy that kept showing up in some way or another, some capacity, for all the signs. And I pull that energy out, we look into it, we dive deeper, just to see what messages pop up. That means that this is a collective reading. It also means that it can go on. It can get a little long because we really dive into it. So take what resonates with you and leave behind the rest, and please be patient. So we are diving into it. We looking into the star here. We're gonna look what is the message about, where are you in it, what can and can't you control, and outcome and all of that. The star. So what is the star? Let's just dive a little bit into the star. It is the Aquarian energy, right? It's the Aquarian and we are in Aquarius season. It could be that, but what is interesting to me is that it often showed up in the readings in the reverse. So to me, you know, we're going to dive into it, but what the first thing I get here is the message about, are you open to receive the blessings that are meant for you? Do you dare to dream? Can you dream big? Can you dream realistic? Can you believe that the results of what it is that you're trying to manifest is on its way when it is time? That's what I get. But let's dive into it. It's the overall energy. We're gonna pull a soul journey. Isn't it soul journey? What do I normally call it? Soul lessons. Right, let's see. One of these for the star. What do we have to kickstart it all? Courage. And there we have imagination. It's interesting because when I was diving into the energy to begin with in the reading, I was actually shuffling an oracle deck, and this card fell out. It was imagine as well, and imagination. And that's also what I got. I was like, can you imagine that things are coming to you in time, in due time, when it is time? Well, let's dive into the courage. I find this inner strength to face fear with confidence. It takes courage to believe, especially when you are not seeing the results in front of you right now. That can make one question oneself, like, am I good enough? Am I doing the right thing? Am I manifesting right? It's not here. I can't see the result of it. That's because energies take time to come into your reality, right? It's like when we are cooking. There are different sorts of recipes. You have fast food, which is basically it's already been cooked for you, but someone actually did the work beforehand, right? But then when you do it yourself, you know, depending on what you're cooking, it takes time for it for the food to be prepared, and it also takes time to be really, really good at something. So, but you know what? Let's dive in. Courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. What is the situation? There we have the Queen of Pentacles. What is the situation about here? No, you know what? Yeah, let's do quickly past present here for you. And you, where you in it? Show me. God damn it, they are flying out everywhere, aren't they? We have the Devil. Magician. Right, so we have the Devil, and it's the challenge, just what is going on with the star. This is very, very interesting. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute, but we have the Devil, and what the challenge is the Magician. This is Capricorn energy, right? Didn't we just have a lot of retrograde and all of that in Capricorn? Interesting. Right, so there's something. This has something to do with your raw personal power, right? This has something to do with your raw personal power, about being sometimes tied up to situations where we have to endure. We have to find the courage to follow through, although it sucks. All right, that's also the Capricorn. That's the Devil energy of pulling through although we do not want to, even though it fucking sucks. Sorry. Is being tied to obligations, for instance. It can also be that we have bad habits that we gotta kick, but it takes a lot of raw power to face our own shadow, to face our own bad habits. Because let's face it, it's always easier to point fingers at everybody else and say that they are the problem, as opposed to also look at how are we contributing. I'm not saying that bad things also happen for good people, but sometimes it's also a matter of paying attention to, am I finding myself in situations like these all the time? How is that possible? Right. That's the devil here. The devil also is the Capricorn energy. It's like, what is it? The 10th house in astrology, and Aquarian energy comes right afterwards. It comes as the 11th house. Right now I'm getting like this push and pull between your ambitions, where you want to go, and then that of your environment. Maybe sometimes you are not always aligned with your environment, in that maybe you just they don't believe in you. And vice versa, right? That is the beautiful dance of life, is figuring out how we compromise and we live together, we coexist. Right? The challenge is communication. It is the manifestation. It is getting things forward, and I can tell you, it is moving forward. Don't worry. When I look to the past energy, I'm seeing the 4 Pentacle in the reverse. This is a temporary energy of having been sort of shut down. I'm getting a lot could have happened in Capricorn season here. Of course, we're just coming out of it, right? But it is about, letting go of something and opening up at the same time. But it is a little bit of a challenge here for some of you if you're not opened, or you're dealing with someone who's not, or a situation that is not opened, right? We're gonna pull some archetypes here. Let's see more about this, what goes in the root of it. I can tell you it has something to do, again here, this has also shown up a lot. Ace of Cups in the reverse could be an unrequited love situation, or a situation where there was just simply not enough love for it to grow, a lot of creativity. But I get that something here is kept secret. Your truth is kept secret within you, and your what is important here for you seems to be your stability. But also that you may have been taking a pause of a sort, and now you are to heal, right? You are healed. That's also the star is also a lot about healing after possibly a tower moment for some of you, but just to find peace. But now you want to move forward, right? But then maybe, let's see what you're gonna face. I want to see more about underneath that devil there. We have the King. He's also showing up in the future, by the way. We have the King. This is power. The King is power. It's a formalized form of power. It's actually, it could be Capricorn, but no, but it's a matter here of standing in your own raw power and also being a leader. And what does it mean to be a leader? To be a leader is not the same as being a boss. It's not the same as being boss mode. To me, at least, to be a leader is to be able to lead people. How do we lead? It's a long and philosophical debate, but it can be about, inspiring people to follow you, to take action, to follow you on their own free will, not through threats of, if you don't do this, I'm gonna end you, or something like that. I mean, in that field where I was educated once back in a while, but there was this, we had to learn about power, right? And there was always this saying that you can't rule over the dead in terms of management, right? You can't rule through fear. You can only rule through inspiration. If you really want to create results, if you want to inspire people to take action, to bring change or to accept change, it's by being a leader. That leads through inspiration, that is in someone you look up to, that motivates, right? That you feel motivated, as opposed to, do you motivate through compliments or through fear? But that is what we have here with the Capricorn. Raw power, it comes with the King. It actually shows up as a good thing. It actually shows up as though you are manifesting your way into something very, very solid, pulling on your raw power. But then I do get this discrepancy with the star that kept showing up in the reverse. Maybe you don't believe that you actually have that within you. Let's see what we have in the past here. This is how these readings go, by the way. It's always a lot of chit-chatter. It's the place where I get to do it. I don't get to do it a lot these days. To be a chit-chatter, just to talk about what I know. So let's see. I don't know. You get to decide. Let's see. What do we have for the fourth pentacle? Alright, it was the forest that fell out just beforehand. Now it shows up in the upright. The forest in the past. See, gotta tell you just before I dive into it, it's interesting to me to see how these energies unfold. Because the star has shown up in the reverse repeatedly. But that means it's something that's a little bit pessimistic. But this is not what I'm getting with the energy. So we're gonna dive into that discrepancy in a minute. But first, let's see. The forest in the past here and the eternal child. This is your capacity to believe, to have faith, to give people chances, to give yourself a chance. It is here. It absolutely is. What so many lesson there. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Judgment. It feels as though you let go of something. You opened up actually. You let go of your need to control. And it seems as though it was at a scary place. By that I'm looking at the forest here. The forest is a place that is. Alright, I can explain it. This energy to me, I always think back to a book of Stephen King, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's about a girl get lost in the forest, right? And when she is in there, she hears a lot of noises around her. She can never see the creature, she just hears it. And that is what makes the forest a little bit scary. Is that we can hear that something is moving outside the tent. But we can't see it, and we don't know if it's good, if it's going to harm us, or if it's going to just mind its own bloody business. If it's just part of that scenery, right? So that we can dwell into, or we can is a place for your imagination to really kickstart. But when we then get into that imagination, the question is are we gonna dive into the fearful approach of a way of understanding what's going on outside the tent, or we're gonna stay in that and just feel safe enough in our own little tent here and say I'm gonna trust that no one's gonna hurt me here. It's actually a lot of a wonderful way of saying, all right, how do I do this? Do I stay scared or do I stay vigilant? Do I stay aware of, like, for instance, if a big bear comes, you can go on, you can fight it, and you can really provoke it, or you can just let it be. Let it do its thing. Hope it not, and if it then comes to attack you, then you probably take action. But I want to need more on this here. It is really an energy in the past that has to do with the way that you stand up for yourself. Also, if other people don't believe in you. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. It's an acceptance of people around you and other people accepting you. And that's probably, for some of you, maybe something to do with people don't accept you, All right, we're going to dive into, because we have other things to look into. But it's just, it's that energy is there. And that then brings you into this energy where you are you're really holding on to yourself. Some of you could find it difficult to trust. Right? You could set up high boundaries. Maybe that place there, for some reason or another, you're choosing to keep that a secret. A secret, meaning you're not speaking about some sort of an experience here. You're not speaking it. And maybe you don't want to open up your heart fully, and that may be difficult for your manifestations to come your way, the way that you, in a way where you feel the creativity in it, right? You may see something grow in your material world. You may have it solid, right? But you know, maybe your heart is not in it because maybe there's something here inside of you where you still feel as though you have to protect yourself from a sense of security. The shapeshifter changing here, being a little bit Joker. It's almost as though you're coming out differently. But are you doing it from a place of authenticity, or are you doing it because you're also feeling pressured? You know, you tell me. The courage, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. All right, I don't know. We will see here. The womb, the feet here. Maybe there's something here that's murky. I'm struggling a little bit with figuring out what is going on. What is the challenge? Show me the underneath here for the star. It's the ring. It's a promise. It's a promise. It's a commitment. It's things. It is things. Something here that keeps going the same way. Yeah, you may not have faith in some sort of a promise that may be given to you here. Maybe you don't believe in it. Maybe you don't trust it. All right, we're gonna see what you can and can't control, and then we're gonna look into the future here, and maybe even pull like some sort of an advice here. Maybe I should do continuation of this reading with the Hermit, because that is, or that one there. All right, let's quickly see here the King of Pentacles that's showing up for you in the future. Right, all right, we're gonna talk about that. Holy fucking shit. We had Apocalypse, Thanatos, and the Bardo showing up. These are all energies that are related to the underrealm, if you want to say that, in Greek mythology at least. Thanatos, what is that? Thanatos is like death, like the ending of something. The Bardo, which also shows up, this is the transit. This is where you are at a position where you are looking. Something here has, right, the Bardo is, it's like the boat, right? You are in the boat and you're looking at the opportunities in front of you before you take action. It's the in transit. It's like being in the airport in transit, and you're looking there where before you even get on the airplane is, and maybe even before you buy the no, you are. It's like having a ticket, but you don't quite know where to go. But you are in the Bardo. It's like an, yeah. It's a transit mode, where the destination is still coming together here. But what we have here is the Apocalypse, which showed up in the past. This is actually possibly even betrayal coming out here. That could, because that's a fun thing. It's fun. It's because when I get to the energy in the past, the energies are calm. And that was why I was a little bit, how is it possible to have the star show up like this, like in the reverse, and everything? It's a little bit odd here, but it could have been some sort of something coming out into the light that could have been earth-shattering, like the Tower. That is what's called the Apocalypse. It's like Apocalypse, the end of the world. But the Apocalypse is when something comes out and it feels, it can feel earth-shattering. It can feel like a new reality opening up. It is like the Tower there, like, right? Could have betrayal in it, but it seems well balanced. It seems like it comes with this judgment here, this understanding that I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. That also goes for you, right? And you had some sort of a safe environment where you were then looking at the opportunities to go somewhere, but now it seems like the end for you, this shapeshifter in the reverse here. And the offering, I don't know why you're showing up with these energies here. It's like, you know what, I almost need to get my book here, sorry. Shapeshifter in the reverse. Show me the shapeshifter. For some reason, there, shapeshifter. A charlatan, a people pleaser, a trickery. Really? Ah, okay, I get it. Yes, I get it. Mm-hmm. Alright, give me a minute. I'm getting into it. Alright, you're skeptical. That is it. You turn skeptical here. This has to do with the way that you are giving out of yourself now. You're giving with expectations. You are not giving yourself just fully. You are not. I would say it's a protection, and I'm gonna say, personally, I would say maybe it's okay. It's okay, but you know, as long as you find the balance where you still have that opened heart, so you're not always skeptical. So you don't have a disbelief in other people, because this has to do with somehow how you connect, possibly, with other people. Do you give yourself fully? I don't really get that. I feel as though you may even sometimes portray yourself in a particular way to please other people, and I get that it may be a self defense mechanism, especially if it's, I mean, I can recognize this energy as something that you have to do. Sometimes you may feel as though you have to do if you are in environments where your authentic self may freak people out, right? We always talk about we gotta show our authentic self. What matters the most is that you show your authentic self to yourself. That you know who you are and accept yourself for who you are. But let's face it, let's think back in time. Which unfortunately still, there are places where you still can't be homosexual. But I'm gonna go back to an example that I know because I can't comment on the other. But like in the 60s, 50s, England or something like that. Alan Turing, something. I'm just an example, right? Knowing who he was, but he couldn't be who he was, of his authentic self, because of the environment he was in, right, where he lived. It's just an example, because it's the only one I can think of right now. It's just that you know who you are, but you have sometimes to carry a mask. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But that was reality. Yeah, thankfully that changed that place, but face it, it still takes place everywhere, in some way or another. Be it sexuality, be it some traits you have. I don't want to go into these political discussions, but you know, maybe that is what is going on here. Maybe that is what's going on. Right, so what can and can't you control here? What can you control? I just want to see here what we have underneath. See, we have this ending, and that's emotional balance, but being tired. A decision was made or is been made that is the right thing. You have... Yeah, right. It shows up as balance. It's just the way that you're connecting with people. You just, maybe you don't believe. Maybe you don't trust the way that you connect, or people connect to you. We're going to look into the future here, because this has to do with forgiveness of an ending, maybe even forgiveness of a person who is actually okay. King of Pentacles. But let's see, what can and can't you control? What can you control in the situation? What can't you control? What you can control is the way that you communicate. That you don't start, I don't know, I want to say attack. The way that you communicate, the way that you also think about a situation in not so warrior-like ways. And the way that the way that things get started, right? If let's say you have a new opportunity, the way that things get started. It's just balance. The way that you communicate is what I'm getting. The way you communicate. That you... I'm not saying you're doing it, but it's just for some, if it is relevant, to not attack. can be difficult. Let's say that we are fucking pissed and we had a bad day. We just want to, you suck. Try not to do it. What you can't control, you can't control the chaos. No, it's the chaos of others. You can't. Time. You can't control time. You can't control when things are coming. Right. It's like jumping the gun or pushing something forward before it's even ready to be pushed. So what you can control is probably patience here. But you can't control how other people choose to indulge in their life. You can't bring healing to people who don't want to bring healing. You don't want healing. You can't try and help an alcoholic to not be an alcoholic if the person doesn't want the help. You can't help someone to quit smoking if they don't want to quit. Right? It's knowing limits and not getting negative or critical, overly critical, getting like a negative with another person because they are not following what you believe to be the right. I don't know if it's relevant. It's just an example here, right? I want to see more about that King of Pentacles. What's coming up for you? And there we have a Queen of Pentacles. We have something very, very stable coming up here. There are some planning that will be done. King and Queen of Pentacles, they are showing up together. I get that, of course, this could be another person where you will then need to forgive them for something. They are a decent person. They are very practical. So are you. You also have it within you. You actually have it within you to be very practical. And I see that might be very beneficial coming up here, because especially if you have something that needs planning. Planning towards your future, that which you want to manifest, that which you probably should keep your heart open to believe in. I am seeing a union of a sort, of a very, very earthy, very, very practical energy. And also of that, what I'm getting here is actually the understanding that it takes three apparently to tango, no, that it takes more people to create something that we co-create together through the experience that we all have, that we are different, that we all have something to contribute with, right? Like if you want to build a house, it takes a lot of different skills to build a house that can stand. You have the architect, you have the engineer, you have the carpenter, you have people who know how to work with water, people who know how to do electricity, people who know how to bloody deal with the government, any governmental institution in terms of permits. It takes a lot of different skills to build something up that can have success. Teamwork, basically, right? And what I'm getting here is that the understanding that we all have our own skills and our experiences, and that we create through each other, and that we also create by building on top of what other people have created before us. Maybe they had something to contribute with, right? Like the Incas, they were apparently engineers, very good in engineering, right? We can learn. I don't know if they did. I don't know. It's not where I don't know a lot there, but I just know that they were good. And I can imagine that people studying engineering today also go back to what the lessons we have there, or the riches we have from that culture and that period of time, and learn from that and still continue to this day. Right? That's basically how we evolve. Generations, we build on top of each other. So what you can control is not to jump the gun, just be patient here a little bit. And you can't control, what is it that you can't control there? You can't control if you are faced with someone who is actually okay. They are okay, they are decent, but they overindulge. That's theirs. I get that this has to do with your patience. That you can control your patience and not get into too much conflicts. Even if it's also with other people. Alright. Is there anything else we can get from this? Something maybe coming towards you. You're going to have options. There we have the Hermit. It's about, remember, if anything is to come towards you where you have to make a choice, where you have multiple options, it's about remembering to go back inside yourself here. The Hermit there. And remember that star, that path of yours where you feel connected to it. What do you connect to? What feels right for you? Do you connect to the path? What makes you feel connected to that path? What is it? It's a scary place to go back and ask yourself those frightening questions of, how do I recognize myself as aligned with where I'm going? What is it exactly that makes me feel aligned? What are the criteria that need to be in place before I feel aligned? Not that you need to have the answers to everything, but it's just, you know, that's like, this feels right. Why is it feeling right? Can you reflect upon it? It's like, this is wrong. Is it wrong because it's uncomfortable, because it's new, or does it feel wrong because you don't feel aligned with it? I don't know. That's what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Take care. Ciao.